All right, cutting the intro a little short there. This is just a quick morning stream as I spent the night setting up resetting up my reactor here. This is similar to the same material reactor as Bob Greenier mentioned, the Lions reactor with an iron core, aluminum sheet plate middle center, as well as copper solenoid wires wrapped around. And yes, also I will show how to make the monoatomic silver gold. That's basically what's being demonstrated in front of you right now. And on the right here, you can see a second jar there, a little bit blue. And at the very top there, it's the bottom of a silver coin. And that is the ongoing monoatomic silver that we've been making, or I've been making. But it's been demonstrating, as it's a new moon right now, over the past few days, as I've been making this monoatomic silver, that barely any silver is produced during the new moon while it's phased out there. And I'll show it again in 2 weeks when there's a full moon, and it will produce a whole bunch more. And that's the key, is that when producing or making monoatomic silver in particular, it seems to actually be tied to the cycle of the moon. And once again, showing that as it's a new moon right now, very little monoatomic silver is being produced whatsoever. So in the reactive jar there, I've got copper, aluminum, zinc, and iron on the cathode side. And on the anode side, there's copper and zinc that is also dissolving. And there's a whole bunch of hydrogen just bubbling away, coming off of it nonstop, as you can see. And no worries, Sean. Hopefully you're feeling better, brother. Welcome, everybody. Good day, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending where you are tuning in right now. Lovely Sunday. And yeah, I'll move the cameras around here a little bit to give a better show. But right in front of you here, you can see to the right, that's a bottle that I just collected of the monoatomic zinc that I had produced in, I believe, Friday's stream, the episode 33, this one right here. And you can see, it was just a zinc anode that was going into that reaction. I love all of you. Thank you for being here today and checking this out. Although I guess technically the cathode does have the copper, the aluminum, as well as the iron core, so there could be a combination of all of those monoatomics that are now in this jar to the right here that's floating up. It was what I harnessed out of this reactor off of the first running of it, being Friday's time when I plugged this in, and then all the monoatomics that grew. I harvested the top layer today before going live, and that is what is in this jar to the right. And the jar to the left is that same reactor now, producing again, but now it has copper as well as zinc on the anode side, and that it just had to be replaced as the initial zinc plate that was the anode had completely corroded away into the monoatomics. Now let's go back to this camera, and I will. How is the sound? The sound is good. I should probably have asked that a little sooner, but I'm assuming it is. Nobody's yelling at me in the chat, so okay. So the monoatomic silver and gold. So basically anything to make this monoatomic. Oh yeah, it's moving a whole bunch. That's what's fascinating. And you'll actually, so the hydrogen going up obviously moves some of the monoatomic material, plasmid clusters. But what's fascinating is you'll see other ones that are going sideways, that go down, that go like that big guy right there. Look at that big chunk, like going horizontal. Like what is it doing? It's, you know, it's fascinating, weird stuff. So yeah, as I was saying, to make how I make these monoatomics, or how I would suggest anyone making it, is obviously the metals you want to use. You take the two identical pieces of like pure gold or pure silver, for instance, the 2 silver ounce coins that I have running in this second jar that I'll show in a second. And the anode is what breaks down into the monoatomic material and the colloidal dissolved water material. And the cathode side is what produces the hydrogen, as well as starts nanocoating itself and having different reactions from breaking down the water. And yeah, so I would recommend using a AAA, AA, or a C battery to start, but you can also use what I'm using here, just a simple micro USB cutting the end off, and the 5-volt wall plug. But it's better just to use a D battery and let it run for a couple of days, or DC battery, sorry. Okay, changing it up here. That do better or worse? Is that better light or worse light now? I guess it's actually almost better. Sorry. Now we have, so this is the, right? I think you could probably grow sea monkeys in with these reactions. So this right here is the harvested zinc monoatomic material that starts some floating up. As it separates, does its thing, lots of hydrogen, atomic hydrogen at the top. And in this jar reaction, you can see the 2 silver ounce coins, just like these guys. And you have the positive side going to the anode, the negative wire going to the cathode side. And that is what produces it. But if it turns blue, like this silver is down here, and oxidizes, then it's diatomic and harmful, and you don't want it. You only ever want the material that is of this pure white color like that. Yeah. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Let's see, take away that a little better. And it's quite the snow globe that the monoatomic material makes the first time you harvest it. It's always so beautiful. Yes, definitely recommend good ventilation because you are producing a bunch of hydrogen. So unventilated areas, it could accumulate and you could potentially go kaboom. So yes, it looks fermented, but in fact, it is not sour. It is simply atomic hydrogen and oxygen being produced, separated from the water in the electrolysis reactions. Um, and yeah, these what the monoatomic materials when they go into these clusters, these little clouds, it's what are called plasmids or plasmoid particulates, and those are also known to have different superconductive properties. They tend to self-organize, constructing nanotubes. You definitely don't want to drink it like this, as it's got 15% salts dissolved in it. So, yeah, definitely don't want a glass of salt water. But once you rinse it all out, then you're making the colloidal waters. And I usually rinse about 9 times, flushing the monoatomics to get the salt out, where um, you pour the water, the top water off, and then rinse the monoatomics, filling it again, the bottles with fresh water, which I will demonstrate again outside here quickly before this stream is done, as that is what we're in the process of for the agricultural alchemy experiments, actually using these different plasmid metals in the waters to make the colloidal waters, the structured water, to test on the different agricultures. And of course, the first test is on plants, then animals, and then yourself, as you know, you don't want to harm yourself by accident, and you want to make sure it's doing good things, not bad things to life. Um, and here's one of my most recent coils I just made today. It's like more of the energy style, healing energy or BioLife um, design, chi, or however you want to call it. But yeah, pretty cool. Triple solenoid, 2 copper, 1 iron in the centers, and then another copper wire going through as wiring it all. But yeah, they love to do Carillion photography with these. And I also can't wait until I have signal generators and Variacs to start pumping frequencies and voltages through these different coils as well. But the small amounts of voltage that I do put through them in the water, you see that mass amount of bubbling, all the hydrogen coming up. That's only with 5 volts right now. So going through these little coils that I have in the water, and it is a coil like this that is still in that main jar there next to the front line reactor. There's also in the bottom left there, you can see the 2 copper coils that kind of look like this, only it's going down like that. And that is what's also connected to the line reactor going in there. So that's what's helping produce so much hydrogen bubbling by the mass exposure surface area of these coils and the copper in them. And yes, they are magravs. So that's the thing, is I am going to further develop and build my own magrav coils and try testing the Keshi free energy plasma devices and see how they go. And it's I do have some faith in it, to be honest, because so far the different anomalous effects that I've experienced with the ones that I've built are quite successful, and just it's amazing. And just that electrolysis reactor there, it almost looks like a fish tank. It's kind of crazy how much they look alive and essentially are alive with the live voltage going through it. And now I will quickly go outside and show the rinsing of the monoatomics after they've been collected, as you take the salt out of them to start using it for watering the plants. Sorry, one momentos. Okay. So hopefully the sound is also good out here. Yeah, they're 2-ounce silver. Those were producing diatomics, and they were also producing monoatomics at the start. Just after you leave it running for about a day, it will start to oxidize and produce the diatomic blue instead of the pure white, like you see to the left here. Good morning, Frankie. Howdy, New West Reset, my fellow Calgarian Tartarian. So here we're showing, you see I've poured the vast amounts of the water out of the bottles to get rid of the salt water, and then keep rinsing it with the local fresh water. But you have to make sure that you don't have polluted tap water. It's recommended to use distilled water or spring water if you can. And just wanted to show, is it capturing? No, too much of a glare. But oh, there, you can almost see the gold. There is some gold flake that has deposited in that purple monoatomic or triatomic, whatever it is, plasmid gold, ORMUS gold, purple gold. And hilariously, I was thinking that the blue oxidized material. I didn't have that much gold mixed in with it compared to the ratio of silver, zinc, and copper. And then I remembered my chain, that my original $2,000 gold chain, that the first time I ever attempted making monoatomic gold, I sacrificed it too, and it turned out to be blue oxidized. So, you know, I essentially had wasted that favorite chain of mine, and luckily I kept it, and that is it. So it's in its first rinse cycle, and I will be adding it to the rest of the mixture there, or maybe actually just keeping it separate as pure majority oxidized gold ORMUS to try. And that one is monoatomic gold, monoatomic silver, and this purple gold silver mixture that likes turning a little brown. This is silver, silver, purple. And that one is a mixture of zinc, copper, silver, and gold, all in the purple state. Now this is some of the rinsed water. And I will quickly fill them all up. But before I do that, and hopefully I don't lose everyone as I go into my Faraday cage of an alchemy experiments tent, I've got another hydrogen electrolysis coil, Magrav coil reactor set up in my outdoor tubs again. And it's producing a little bit, barely any salt, and still kind of cool temperature. As the day warms up, the rate of production will drastically increase, but still pretty cool. Okay. It's alive. It's got a live current, thus it is alive. Beautiful spring day with lots of flowers on the fruit trees still. Some peonies I've dug up as well to transplant and try out in the ORMUS experiments here. Oh dear, how do I do it well? See, last time I had the laptop set up, not handheld phone. Didn't really think this one through. Okay. Let's see how this goes. So there we go. So that is the oxidized gold ORMUS. And then we have the pink, gold, silver, copper mixture. And the purple. Like, it's crazy how Easter color like they are. could be like painting Easter eggs, alchemy eggs. I don't know. Ooh. I love lilacs. I actually have a lilac right behind me. Oh, and the last two. Indigo. So there we go. These ones are good representation of how the monoatomic or plasmid ORMUS material settles. It's quite cool how it fluffs up and how it acts. And from what I've seen in the Keshi Magrav reactor group experiments, when you do rotate these materials at several thousand RPM, they supposedly, what looks like, produce visible plasma fields in proximity to them, especially when combined with Magrav coils. I'm going to be having Rick, Mr. Fix-It Rick Crammond, who runs the Keshi Zoom knowledge seeker workshops on fairly soon, so that I can actually do a 2-spec Magrav coil unit to start. It is 7:17 a.m. right now. And yeah, there's the gold and silver ones settling. So of course, you have to, each time you fill them to rinse, you have to let them fully settle for another 24 hours so that all the water, all the particles are completely out of the water, and it's as clear as can. Oh, Andrei Suryati, thank you, sir, for the IDR. Much appreciated. Right? That's what I was thinking, Danico, of like creating some sort of art pieces featuring these different materials at some point. Andri Suryati, where are you from, a good sir, if you don't mind me asking? I have never received IDR before. All right, so let's see. Oh, no, I let it settle too even. The first time I put the purple gold in here, I kept it at an angle after the first rinse, and all of the gold particle flakes collected at one portion, and it was pretty cool to have like a whole side that was straight gold. I'll try to get that. Oh, from Indonesia. Amazing. I do wish to visit there someday. I hear it's quite beautiful. And glad to have you. All right, so there's the I guess fourth or fifth rinse I've done with these on stream the last week, and back to the live hydrogen and the first harvesting of that new zinc there. As you can see it settling and quite fluffy and still active, even though it's in a sealed bottle, even compared to the still live and inactive silver on silver reaction in the middle. And we'll see if I can keep it running for a full couple of weeks, and as it gets more active as we get closer to a full moon. And yeah, see that big cluster there, how it's moving sideways, all sorts of weird anomalies that happen. But I will be right back inside. All right, so I am back, and we are 36 minutes and 33 seconds in, and it is 7:22 a.m. So I should probably go have a nap, as I have things to do this afternoon. And yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one. And I promise fairly soon I will set something up that will have longer streams of just the experiments running for those who wish to view them, and as they develop, and just a live science stream or experiments stream constantly going. Probably I'll have it paired with designated lectures, probably Apex or something like that running. And yeah, on that note, hope everybody's having or had a blessed Sunday, and see you all later.
The resonant frequency of the Earth.